In an industry where trust, expertise, and innovation matters the most, three brothers have built more than just buildings. They have built dreams, relationships, and a legacy that speaks for itself. So today we are joined by the three visionary founders of the building company, Mr. Jagat, Mr. Neeraj, and Mr. Jatin Viradiya. Together, they are revolutionizing the real estate sector through their vision. So let's start with Mr. Jagat. Uh, can you share what inspired the establishment of the building company and what's the core mission and vision behind the building company?
Sure. So going back before building company, we had diverse experiences from different fields, including real estate. And then we went into something called as industrial development. That gave us a lot of experience, first-hand experience of material, people, market, and so on. That made us, all of us, think that, and especially him, Neeraj, he wanted to create a brand, real estate brand. So we thought that it's a good idea, and then we all sat together and decided that in order to bring that experience into expression, it's important that we create an independent brand which is not supported by many other partners, because when you have a larger group, you have to keep everybody's interest and likes and dislikes into account, which is not a very artistic approach. Artists usually work alone because they like uninterrupted flow of their creative energy. So we three are basically like a single unit. We generally don't poke each other except in critical situations. So we felt this is the minimum we can operate with, and that's good enough. That was the primary idea. So we went into branding exercise because we wanted to do something creative from the start, not go back and then repair what we did. So from step one onwards, and that's kind of a usual practice that we do a lot of work on step zero. We want to climb back. So we did the branding exercise with a few of our friends who are into branding. They helped us explore a few interesting questions like what we are doing now. Because when there is a question, then you go inside and formulate the answer, bring it out and see if the answer is resonating with the question or not. Sometimes it does. So the branding exercise helped us frame so many things. That was a big idea, to bring the experience into expression. But that questioning created frame, what we want to do, how we want to do, when we want to do, why we want to do, and so many interesting questions that give us a lot of clarity of thoughts, what we want to do in the future. And probably those answers will come on table in words today itself, which is kind of interesting because you generally don't think about these things except the question is there. So thanks for doing this. Questions help. Maybe we'll refresh our visions and everything. So that was the idea, like I explained, that to bring our experience into real concrete, actually, unintended concrete stuff. And that's what we have been doing since about more than 10 years now, because earlier there used to be a lot of partnerships, different types of partnerships. A company which creates a project and dissolves, another company creates a project and dissolves. A single brand name is there since 2014, where just us, and all the learning brought into experience, and then more learning, because when you have clarity, it brings more clarity. There's always kind of a refinement of all the systems and all the way you operate, not just business but in life. That was the core idea of starting the company, to work on a highest possible level, feasible from the current resources and the market situation, and do something which becomes kind of a landmark for the rest of the industry, staying within the brackets of business numbers and ethics and so many things, the laws, the regulations, people's expectations. So those are kind of factors which come into uh, account, and based on that, whatever best we can create. And so I think, as we will talk further about the green building, which was innovative, the kind of designs which we do are innovative, staying within the framework and not for any uh, vague motive. It was for clear motive to create good projects, consume ourselves, like what we're doing now, and give the best quality product at the reasonable price to the market, and become kind of a respectable, noteworthy, significant contributor to the whole country at large.
Okay, that's a beautiful vision, I believe. Okay, now let's talk about the three of you as the founders. Can each of you share your individual backgrounds and how your unique abilities contribute to the success of the building company? Let's start with Mr. Neeraj.
Okay, so I'm a commerce graduate and I love to speak since my childhood. And I'm a born motivational speaker. Not professional, but I love to motivate people around me, and I talk nice, and I love to meet a lot of people. I'm very extrovert. So when I thought about this idea of the building company, my core expertise, ability to talk with people, to convince them for our product. Basically, I'm a salesman. But yes, that's what I love to do. So my role is in the company is business development. So I look after all those sales and buying lands and designing all that thing.
So let's come to Mr. Jatin. I'm sorry.
I am basically a science graduate, and I have worked in industry also for 6 to 8 years, and I am mostly hardworking. So I would like to work on at the floor, right? So mostly I am working on the projects, and from starting to end I complete the project. So all construction parts I am looking into it.
Basically, you are somebody who looks after every operations that are being.
Yes, mostly I am looking all operations.
Yeah.
You can say.
Great.
Army, Navy, Air Force. So he's always on the front line. That is the most dangerous job.
And I like to expedite work. I like to take work from the people. So એ મને જે ગમતું કામ છે એ હું કરું છું.
True. So, what's your role in the foundation?
My role is to do risk assessment constantly, because we have taken risk unknowingly in the past without proper calculation, and the calculation should have been done with sincerity. We didn't know mostly. It was not part of our training, and that's what I think it should be part of all the youngsters training, to do risk assessment. Motivation is good, but it should not make you jump from the balcony or calculate what size of parachute is needed if you really have to jump, right? Or in what situation you have to jump. You can't jump every day. So motivation makes you do silly things unless there is a risk calculation, and that's what I do. Being an engineer, I do have some industrial experience, some real estate experience, some accounting, but one thing which I have improved past 5-10 years, I would say, is my ability to learn things. So learning how to learn is my subject, and I keep utilizing that skill set and keep improving that skill to learn everything and anything which interests me, apart from business, also many other areas. So that's my role in the company, to do risk assessment and to constantly allocate assets in more growth areas, keeping future in mind, because future is unpredictable. It's going to be a massive change from what we have seen, and that speed of change is increasing every day. That is challenging, that's scary, and that's fun. It's like a serious roller coaster ride which keeps on growing its speed and its movements. That's the future. So my role is to do these two things, to get prepared more and more for the future.
Okay, great. So it's amazing how the diverse background of each one of you is putting up with the entire foundation of the building company.
Yes.
Coming over to the next question, which is with three founders at the helm, how do you all collaborate in the decision making and leadership, and how does this shared leadership model foster growth?
It's like a triangle where we all bring things on table. And then this table has many triangles. So he understands the market, the buyer mindsets, the current market situations, and so on. So what product is needed, what product is not needed, how the product will be appreciated. That's his area. He brings what is feasible. Can we create that product?
Correct.
Right? At what cost and at what quality and in what time frame? Do we have the right people in the market who can provide those services to us? And how best we can meet the expectations is there on the drawing. That's his role. Okay. So he goes from the drawing board to the bringing the actual thing into existence.
Okay.
And the feasibility of that thing. Not just that construct, but even afterwards, after 10 years, 20 years, what will happen, he can foresee that. So we are not too excited about creating grand designs, but his approach is realistic, that the design is one thing, it can do anything on paper, but when it comes to creating on ground, maybe even that is possible, but then sustaining that thing for next 5, 10, 20 years. So we explore those areas, and then based on that, we could come back to drawing board and recreate things.
Okay.
So that the construction is sustainable.
Okay.
That's where green also comes into picture, because it's all about sustainability.
Right.
And we have living proof. These are not just words. We have done 3 projects. Now the third one is ongoing. But we can see that happening. That whole loop from drawing board to 20 years in the future and then back to drawing board gives us strong foundation, and the buildings are extremely sustainable.
Okay.
This building is a proof. For 7-8 years and you can see the building. So what was your question?
Okay, so my question next is, how does this shared leadership model foster growth?
So that's his, as I explained, he goes into that thing. And before he comes up with a vision and he comes up with a building, my role is to assess both areas. That is this company, I mean, those things could be wonderful things.
Okay.
Can we do it is my role. Example is like, if there's a movie idea which he brings and he says, yeah, I can shoot the movie and create it. But then I say that, are we doing it with that kind of budget and that kind of production value? Is it for us or not? And I'm not, you can see a philosopher saying that everybody should do that. We are only limited to our things. So that's kind of my role. And so if you summarize it, I say I am the brake, right? He's the accelerator and he's the steering.
Okay, great.
So no matter how hard he steers, we should go in that direction. If the direction is wrong, I will stop.
Correct.
I will stop. I have to tell him that accelerator jara ochu karje. Sometimes he's pushing on, I still have to hold the brake. So that's kind of a thing, and it's coordinated.
Yeah.
He has reasons to push the accelerator. He has his own reasons to steer in that direction. But I can foresee that our direction માં આગળ ખાડો છે. બહુ મસ્ત રોડ છે, પણ આગળ બહુ દૂર એક છે, તો આપણે અવોઇડ કરીએ એમ. And we also think in that way that it's not just us. Memento mori is the word. It's like, remember that there is death somewhere. Okay, next moment or after 130 years for me.
Okay, nice.
So in our absence, how this thing will function, that we constantly prepare for, and we are always unprepared. Always. It's always, even if your travel bag is ready, when you say 2 કલાક પછી flight, so you will say શું બાકી છે બેગમાં. Same with life and business and everything. That it's a constant process. We constantly prepare that in our absence, how things will function.
Correct.
So that is another factor which is there on the table. It's an ongoing project. In my absence, the project will go on. How will it go on? There should be some readiness. It shouldn't be uninsured.
Okay.
So those are the roles which we play, and it's not a singular role that I have to play on this. Sometimes he brings the risk factor, and I am bullish, which is possible. So it's like we brush on to each other whatever skill set we have.
So basically, unless all the three of you are not on the same page, the project does not go ahead.
Yeah. Yes.
Great.
It is always the building company, not individual.
Correct. That is how a collaborative approach works. Now, I'm really curious about your green building concept. Can you tell us more about how that idea came about and how it's positioned the building company as a pioneer in the sustainable construction?
When we started, this project in 2014, at that time we knew that there is the concept of green building, right? So we studied it, and we meet few people, few consultants. They suggested that you should go with green building, but there were there are many things we have to follow to make a green building, also associated costs. But somehow we discussed, and we finalized that we should go with this project. Why green? Because it is beneficial for customers who are buying our property, right? And it is also good for their health, who are living in the home or a commercial property. So that's why that idea came into the picture, and we started making green, and we constructed this green project. And
I think I'll add something, that his idea about green building was not this certified green building thing.
Yeah.
He was anyways constructing things using the material which were part of the IGBC's recommendation. તો પછી એને વિચાર આવ્યો કે આપણે ઓલરેડી આટલું તો કરીએ જ છીએ, તો હવે ખાલી એમને બતાવવાનું છે કે અમે આ કરીએ છીએ. It's like taking a health certificate of a healthy person.
Okay, great.
So IGBC did not do revolutionary things for us. He already was on that track, halfway there. પછી એણે એવું કીધું કે why not we spend little bit more and get the whole checklist.
Correct.
And then do everything, the full enchilada, and then get certification. And then the cost factor was there, but we thought કે અમે લોકો પહેલો પ્રોજેક્ટ કરીએ છીએ તો એમાં cost factor કદાચ થોડી વધારે બી નાખીએ અને એક એસ્ટાબ્લિશ થઈ જઈએ કે અમે સારું કામ કરીએ છીએ. And IGBC certification નું વજન ડે બાય ડે વધતું જાય છે. ત્યારે એટલું નહીં હતું when he came in. So we were against it. છોડની આ બધું કે આપણે ઓલરેડી કરીએ છીએ, થોડોક જ એક્સપેન્ડિચર છે. We did the mathematics and he said let's do it. So he was the person who pushed the button. I was again reluctant કે શું જરૂર છે. He said no, we're doing it. I said okay fine, let's do it. પહેલામાં કરીએ આપણે. So that was the idea, that it was not like they gave us and baptized. We knew what we had to do. We anyways were creating best building. Our design બની ગઈ હતી, material select થઈ ગયું હતું. And then IGBC came in and gave us, and I think we went far ahead than what they recommended, which is including the CO2.
Okay, so can you name a few qualities of a green building? How do you?
Let me tell you that in a very short word. Green building, the first thing, हमारा collar ऊंचा है. We have certified green building. We got a shield which we can install somewhere. People can see that. Green building no benefit કે જે અંદર user છે, they will get a very good environment, proper sunlight, wind and no smell. બીજા benefit saving ના. We can reduce use of electricity, water, and building has few rainwater recharging wells. That means we are giving rainwater to Mother Earth back to
the nature.
જે આપણે બોરવેલમાંથી જે ખેંચીએ છીએ એની ઊંધી પ્રોસેસ. We are giving water. અને આપણા ત્યાં કેટલું યરલી કેટલું થાય છે?
About 8 to 10 lakhs liter.
Wow.
During monsoon.
Big number.
That's actually a big
Now imagine everybody is doing this practice. We won't have the bad quality of this borewell.
Wow, that's amazing.
We have also insulation on the roof, so it will help us to keep the building cool during the monsoon.
So electricity bill of summer. Ground floor and top floor both are similar. Otherwise top floor is paying more for air condition. But they need more. So we have very cool top floor.
These are very crucial points about dream building. The question is that.
Yeah, so there are certain little things that needs to be
Yes.
taken
And
care of.
third point, this building is harming less to the
Hmm.
environment,
Okay.
Yes.
because when we start this building, the hustle start.
Hmm.
When we started excavation,
Okay.
we have to keep that 10-inch of soil
Fertile
layer,
soil layer.
fertile soil. We have to preserve it.
Yeah.
We cannot just dump it somewhere.
Okay.
That's how it starts, and that is the reason most developers don't want to make buildings. Say, "कौन माथाकूट करे यार?" That is
Correct.
माथाकूट, and he like it.
પ્રોસીજર બધી બહુ ફોલો કરવાની હોય છે.
So you are the one who has to be we have to follow the procedure. However hustle it takes and however hassle it is, but we have to follow the procedure.
For example, if we like to go to gym, doing workout, it's not
It's a hustle in a way, but then it's ultimately for the good of your
But if
body.
someone who is very lazy, who love to sleep, and we push them, give them motivation, let's go to gym, he won't like it. This is the thing.
Great. I think it's very inspiring to hear about the commitment of for sustainability that you're doing. But how do you balance this with maintaining top-notch quality in your projects, and how do you ensure customer satisfaction in your project?
જેમ કહ્યું કે આપણું જે અમારી જે કંપની છે, જે પ્રોજેક્ટ અમે કન્સ્ટ્રક્ટ કરીએ છીએ એ અમે બેસ્ટ ક્વોલિટીના બનાવવા માગીએ છીએ અને લેન્ડમાર્ક બનાવવા માગીએ છીએ. તો પહેલાં એક અમે ડિસાઇડ કરેલું છે કે અમારી પ્રોડક્ટ જે છે એ સારી જ બનાવવાની, અને સારી પ્રોડક્ટ બને એટલે ઓટોમેટિકલી કસ્ટમર સેટિસ્ફેક્શન તો મળવાનું જ છે.
Correct.
It takes time when we start something new, but eventually now the building company is known in entire Surat, even some places in Gujarat, for the quality and innovation. We have bought something, I'm not saying a very extraordinary technology, but for this kind of building, tenant occupied category, commercial buildings, some gadgets were new, like we have installed in the basement, on the top slab, below the flooring we have installed what is called thermal insulators.
Okay.
Which was very new for us. And for the other developers, we installed this in 2015-16. પછી કોઈ બિલ્ડિંગમાં કર્યું જ કોઈ? No.
Wow. We have a problem. We think from customer's point of view after 10 years.
Correct.
And that's where we have divide with most of our clients. આની શું જરૂર છે? But we see they are going to need it after 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
And we bring it today. So we are, even in this building is extremely futuristic. હજી આજે બી માર્કેટની અંદર આ બિલ્ડિંગ્સમાં છે, આ બિલ્ડિંગમાં છે, બીજા બિલ્ડિંગ્સમાં નથી.
I call it Star Wars.
Nice.
Yeah.
When Star Wars first movie released, nobody was going to watch it. Like, શું બનાવ્યું છે? Now it's a brand.
Correct.
સ્પેસિફિકેશન જે બધા હોય છે થોડા હાયર હોય છે.
We have used cable trays in this building, and I bet that ask 80% builders, they don't know what is cable tray. I'm looking at camera and telling you.
Because that is industrial practice.
Google it, find out cable tray. This building has it, and it came from our industrial experience. He was handling the entire electrical design of our industrial projects, state of the art, world class, and world class. WORLDCLASS. Period. Now that knowledge, experience he brought to this building, and we have that thing. The air conditioning ducts, the fiber optics, the electricals, the fire systems, these are like almost to the NASA level.
Wow.
And he enjoys it. He's not doing any favor. He never says that he can do that. Maine kiya hai. He enjoys it. It's like an artist. He draws something. He does not say maine ye stroke kiya. He said the stroke was necessary to create the whole painting.
Yeah.
So everything is a little stroke which creates the whole painting. That's what he does, and that's what we enjoy seeing him doing. Though it's expensive, but anyways.
So he's giving the Big Brother vibes already.
Yeah. So that was the idea behind that divide between the client and us, that they don't know why is it given. Sometimes they complain also, but what he has done is keeping the future in mind. કે ભવિષ્યમાં આજે કદાચ તમને લાગશે કે થોડું ખરાબ દેખાય છે, but this will sustain for 20 years. સારું દેખાશે, it crack થઈ જશે. in few short time after we sell it to you and we pull out. પછી ખરાબ થઈ જશે and we will not be responsible, but you will pay the price. What he is doing is our lifetime service and so on, where people don't really appreciate and understand, but it's okay because we see that we are the client. In this building, we are the client itself.
Yeah.
So what do we need? અમને શેમાં મજા આવે છે, કઈ વસ્તુની requirements છે, એ બધી fulfill થઈ ગઈ છે. So we also have a quote with some in the past we have posted that first we create buildings for ourselves, then we sell it to you. So it's not for the selling purpose. The approach is reverse. The checklist goes from what do client need, and the last items are what a builder can survive with.
Okay.
So the approach is helping us. It's not very I can say sustainable concept because builder does not make anything if this is the approach. We are young, we are little too enthusiastic, and we are too emotional sometimes to create better products, but we are becoming wise, and therefore we are not going to construct buildings just for the purpose of selling it.
Okay.
There are other plans which we will eventually explore.
Okay, so that's a great approach to keep both quality and sustainability at the forefront. Now, since you are dealing with, your work deals with the lives of so many people, how do you incorporate the elements of mental and physical well-being into your building designs and construction practices?
In the design, I think his approach is clear from the beginning that light and air, વાઉજાસ ગુજરાતીમાં આપણે કહીએ, એ સારું હોવું જોઈએ. And that I think is 80% of the work. So વાઉજાસ લાવવો is a difficult task. And we are not FSI driven. Both of them. FSI is free space index. એનો મતલબ એવો થાય કે એક પીસ ઓફ લેન્ડ છે એની ઉપર કેટલા ફૂટ બાંધકામ થઈ શકે એના અમુક કાયદાઓ છે. એ કાયદાઓની ફ્રેમમાં રહીને ડિઝાઇન બનાવવી પડે. હવે એક્સ સાઇઝની જગ્યા છે એની અંદર વાય સ્ક્વેર ફૂટ બાંધકામ થઈ શકે. સો એઝ અ બિલ્ડર અપ્રોચ પહેલા એવો આવે કે બધા વાય ફૂટ આપણે યુઝ કરી લઈએ સો દેટ એ દરેક ફૂટ વેચાશે ને આપણને પૈસા આવે. The second approach is કે આમાં ડિઝાઇન સારી કરવી હોય તો થોડાક ફૂટ આપણે જતા કરવા પડશે. તો આપણે થોડી ઓપન સ્પેસ રાખી શકીશું. આપણી કિંમત વધશે, આપણી વેચાણ કિંમત વધશે, એમઆરપી વધશે, બટ બિલ્ડિંગ બહુ સારું બનશે. નવ વેચાણ કિંમત વધારવી ઇઝ અ રિસ્ક. કેમ કે અહીંયા એવું છે કે બાજુની લારીમાં ભીંડા કેટલાને મળે છે, તમે બી એટલામાં જ આપો. રિયલ એસ્ટેટની અંદર એવું નથી કે આ ફોન આ કંપનીનો છે, આ ફોન મોંઘો છે. એ ડિફરન્સિએશન આમાં નથી આજે, આવી રહ્યું છે સ્લોલી ગ્રેજ્યુઅલી. આઈ થિંક અમારા લોકોના લીધે ચેન્જ આવી રહ્યો છે. અત્યારે રિસ્ક છે. સો એફએસઆઈ ઓછી વાપરીને સારી ડિઝાઇન બનાવીએ એના માટે હવા ઉજાસનો પોઈન્ટ ખૂબ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ હોય એ જ કરી શકે. તો અમે લોસ કરીને હવા ઉજાસને લાવીએ છીએ, એટલું ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ એ વસ્તુનું છે. એન્ડ વેન આઈ સે હવા ઉજાસ ઇટ બેસિકલી મીન્સ up to the bathrooms of all the apartments and the shops and offices. કે ત્યાં એ બી ફીલ ગુડ એન્વાયરમેન્ટ હોવું જોઈએ, લાઇટ આવવી જોઈએ, કોઈ જગ્યાએ ડેડ પોકેટ નહીં થાય, ક્યાંય હવા અટકી જાય એવું ન થાય. અને ઘણીવાર એવું થાય છે કે જે બિલ્ડિંગ્સમાં આ વસ્તુ નથી હોતી ત્યાં આગળ યુ વિલ સી કે ડસ્ટ અને ગાર્બેજ એક જગ્યાએ સર્ક્યુલેટ થશે. એન્ડ જો એની ઉપર ધ્યાન નહીં આપવામાં આવે તો બિલ્ડિંગ આખું ખરાબ થઈ જાય.
Okay, so it's wonderful to see how much all of you prioritize the well-being of the people staying in the building. I would like to know from each one of you, how do you see the future of the building company from now?
Future is bright. અમે બીજા જે ડિઝાઇન્સ છે, લોકેશન્સ છે, એક્સપ્લોર કરીએ છીએ. રિયલ એસ્ટેટમાં બીજા કોઈ જે ઓપ્શન્સ જે છે તે એક્સપ્લોર કરીએ છીએ. સો ફ્યુચર ઇઝ બ્રાઇટ.
My father always used to say the roti kapda makan band nahi thaye. So if you ask this question from the market point of view, we are going to do very well. And right now we are into making and selling kind of the conventional way, but my personal choice is rental. So we want to create good buildings for long lease for good companies, and we have already started with this recent project, The Profit. We have a lifestyle store of lifestyle. So from that we came into kapda. So that's one thing. Then we have reserved few floors on office section for MNCs or national level good companies.
Okay.
So that's my personal choice. So yes, and we are, as he said, we are exploring new options like plottings and bungalows and exclusive kind of projects. We don't want to fall into this conventional 3 BHK, 2 BHK and this commercial and office building. No, we want to find something jema, a niche client age way. We want to create something for them, which is for risk for other developers. And we don't mind. We can hold. That's my point.
Again, I'll bring the future point here, that the city is growing. We are in a very small city compared to global cities. So whatever is happening in the world class, top tier in the sense the globally top tier cities, એ બધી વસ્તુ સુરતમાં થશે eventually next 10-20 years. From that, what we as a building company can bring to our city, we'll see, because I'm not saying like I already said that for us and not for us, these are two baskets for me. We will explore what is for us, and those projects, if we can bring, if they have some lucrative value, if they have something for us, because of course we think for the client, but when you have to bring something, you have to think that is it sustainable for the company itself, because it's very important for us to survive, to create new things. So in that, there is co-working spaces, there are warehouses, right? Of course there are standard commercial places. In residential, we might think in some innovative ways. Like today we were discussing about certain farmhouse project, but with a twist.
Okay.
It's not the conventional farmhouse project, something different, because the users will be your and my kids. Then we have to keep their choices into account and how they are evolving.
Okay.
So if we prepare for their future choices, then maybe we'll create a likable project. But if we create something which is good for today, then we can see that મકાન જે 20, 30, 40 વર્ષ જૂના છે આપણને આજે નથી ગમતા. The same thing might be repeated. We have to change that. So that's what the building company is looking into.
So I think you answered my next question. It says, how do you plan on bringing innovation while being true to your values?
Yes, the same thing, keeping the future in mind, and also future of the future. If I say X product is futuristic, but then how sustainable is it in its next 40 years? And we don't want to just slap something which is futuristic. We would like to test from our fundamental understanding that if it is sustainable, then we'll bring in so that it is ready for the future, but it does not fall apart when the future begins.
Correct.
So those things are part of our wisdom and experience, which is constantly growing, and we know that we do not know enough. So we keep ourselves open for the corrections, and still I think some fundamentals stay.
Okay.
So there is foundation, but the building, as it grows up, we change the bricks as per time, be it our knowledge, understanding, technology, and so many things.
Okay.
We call ourselves thinkers, because there is a saying that thinking is difficult, so people judge or people copy. We think, we spend some time in thinking, like what next, what else we can design, what new we can bring, like that.
Okay, so last, I would like to ask each one of you one quote that maybe resonates with your work, resonates with the role that you're pursuing for your work. Okay? Yeah, please.
If someone asks me like, how are you and what are you doing, I would answer, work, worship, workout.
Wow. Nice one.
We make our building, then after it makes us.
Nice.
Think for yourself.
Okay. That speaks a lot, actually.
Because there are so many axioms and rules and notions which are posed on us, maybe even before the birth, because we are listening from the womb.
Right.
આવું કરવું જોઈએ, આવું થવું જોઈએ. Look at Ronaldo and look at Obama and wonderful, fine. But that does not mean that we have to copy them. We use the word inspire, but I think it's like do what they do. Don't do it. Think on your own, and it's extremely hard. Even thinking on this code that think on your own is hard, and that's what the challenge is, and that's the fun. So that's it. Keep on thinking on yourself, because whenever you're thinking on your own, there are always factors where you have been pushed के आने के उलाक से तो मुझे जरा सरखो बैसो okay, if you get that thing, analyze it. Why exactly? What's the purpose here? Purpose here to answer question as honestly and as deeply as possible. And if I'm doing that thing, voila.
Actually, nobody asking why. The problem is, and we are teaching our next generation to ask why. Why am I doing this? Like, what is the requirement? કે ભાઈ તમારે તો છે ને પેલી એસ ક્લાસ મર્સિડીઝ એસ ક્લાસ વાપરવું છે. વાય? હું રિક્ષામાં જાઉં અને સામે કોઈ અનનોન માણસ હોય, they don't care. અને you know me, okay, હું કોઈ પણ ચાલતો આવું, આટલો શોર્ટ છે, you don't care, like you are my friend. So the why is like, પેલા જે બધી રૂલ્સ ને આવું કરવું જોઈએ, આમ કરવું જોઈએ, આમ કરવું જોઈએ.
And that wise answer is analyzed on paper. He had to buy a car. We went on paper.
Okay.
It was not a mental, cloud.
I sold Q7.
Okay.
Okay. Now we are not using. Sometimes he is using car on highways. I'm not driving on highway. I'm done with that.
Okay.
Okay. So I used to drive in the city. If I want to go to Ahmedabad, Mumbai, or my village, we use train or flight.
Okay.
But the question is that why should I buy like 1.25 crore in a very? I was about to buy X5 BMW, made my mind, but then I realized, so
Correct.
Then he guided me.
So analysis on paper. There are so many factors, including that I want to show off. Wonderful. I'm all for it. To whom? Okay. And what will happen? And you think that by wearing a very high quality watch, you are impressing people? No. So it's a subject for a different podcast. That whatever you do to impress people, are they getting impressed or something else is happening? So I understand impressing and showing off, but it should hit the target. If it's not hitting, then think again.
Correct.
So likewise, technology, comfort, his own comfort. How important is his own comfort versus showing off? So wearing a suit which is very hot inside is not comfortable, but it looks good. Sometimes you have to do things to look good. I'm all for it. But analysis and equal weightage is a wrong idea. We have to have a different weightage on different systems and areas. And based on that, if we come to some conclusion, it's hard, but it's fun.
Okay.
And I think there's a kind of a social pressure to not think too much, which is wrong. You think too much because you don't know how to think. If you know how to think, it's concise.
Okay.
So we try to do that. We keep on improving that. And like I said, we know that we don't know enough, which is good.
Okay, great. So I think the future holds like a wonderful promise for the building company. Thank you very much for sharing your invaluable journey, your vision and passion for your work.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Thank you so much.
It was fun. Like I said, these questions helped us look deeper into what we are thinking. So thank you for asking questions.